I got sidetracked by some things that I was working on, and I just never made it back here. So, I'm sorry. Apparently, trying to switch to do 2 videos a month was a bad idea. um, Stupid as that sounds. But, so, I'm going to try and get myself back into the habit with the ASMR holiday that occurred recently. Happy belated holiday, by the way. Um, I kind of started trying to talk myself back into doing this because I've missed it. One of the other very stupid things that I've been allowing myself to use as a kind of obstacle, I guess not use as an obstacle, but which has been an obstacle, an imagined one, is I have this really awesome microphone that a friend of mine gave me. And I don't know what it is, but apparently something in my brain just makes me feel like it's a monumental task to to use this microphone. It's not even the one I'm using right now. I decided that if I was going to do this, I better just freaking do it. But anyway, my absence aside, I am going to, I can't say I'm known for my myths, but that's what I generally focus on when I do my whispers. This is going to be, to get me back in the game, kind of a whisper. I'm doing an ASMR tag video. It's one that was put out by Natatat, or let me think, is this Natatat? I sound like a little machine gun. But the way I heard it was through give me 1 second and I'll tell you. Was Pig's Bum 53. That's how I came across it. So it's a response to Pig's Bum 53, I suppose one could say. Anyway, let me get into it. I guess technically, if you're listening to this, you're tagged as well. But I've never been one to tag people, so I mean, do what you feel like to do. Okay. Excuse me. I hope that didn't make any sound. I had to reposition the microphone. But let's begin. When did you first experience the feeling of ASMR? I don't know. I would say, obviously, yeah, for all of us, we experienced it before we ever found it on YouTube, or 9 times out of 10 we did. We may not have, marked it as something worth paying attention to, but we all, I'm sure, had some sort of auditory experience that resonated with us. So it's something that I can say that the experiences began before I ever found something on YouTube related to it. And if I had to go back, probably something memorable. Zippers. I don't know if anyone else gets this particular thing, but like not when you're necessarily zipping a zipper up on the whole zipper, like for instance to zip up a coat, but just having the actual, I don't know if you'd call it a lever or a switch, or the zipping part of the zipper that you actually hold on to and move up. I remember as a child loving the sound that's made when you move that zipper up and down without actually zipping up, just the one trail on the one side. As a matter of fact, I still find that entertaining. I don't know if it's the sound itself or I'm just entertained really easily by moving objects. Which we'll get to that probably in a minute. But yeah, I really like the sound of a zipper. Um, and that probably was one of the first things that I ever noticed. So, let's see. When did you find out what it was? Um, well, I guess to be perfectly honest with you, I wasn't convinced that I had ASMR until very recently because I wasn't sure what ASMR actually was supposed to be considered. I had kind of idly looked for some definitions here and there after seeing the acronym show up on videos, but I had never really found a definition that I could understand. I'm not dense. I just didn't find one that I could wrap my head around very easily. But recently, for the ASMR holiday, Gentle Whispering did a set of really awesome videos, and the first one of which was an explanation of what ASMR is and how it works. After listening to her explanation, I was convinced that I must have ASMR in some incarnation. So, I guess, when did I first find out what it was? You could say it was at the very beginning of April this year. But yeah. Next question. Do you know any friends, family who have ASMR? No, it's never came up. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are, kind of, I'm not going to say closeted about it, but, I mean, how do I put this? Okay, so for instance, I like the movie First Blood. The movie First Blood was the first rated R movie I ever watched. I watched it as a little kid with my dad, because he wasn't thinking. And, yes, it's my favorite movie, but I don't walk around telling everyone it's one of my favorite movies. It's the kind of thing that if it comes up, it comes up. If it doesn't come up, it doesn't come up. And I've never really had anybody bring up that they have ASMR out of the blue. So I've never had a friend or family member mention it. As a matter of fact, for instance, the First Blood thing only comes up because I can see my DVDs from here, and it made me think of it as an example. So, yeah. But I imagine a lot of people have stuff like that. I know one of my friends and I, we talk about the pleasure of a good word and a good name. We love words, and we love the feelings that are evinced by the sounds of certain words and certain names, and good writing that has excellent word use, and alliteration is always a friend of the reading ear. To say, it's kind of a strange way of putting it, but yeah. Anyway, so how and when did you find out about ASMR YouTube videos? Well, a few years ago, I started listening. This was while they still had YouTube at where I work. We can't get it now, but to kind of curb the stress of the day, I would look for relaxation videos, and eventually I funneled that over to my private life because they did get rid of the relaxation videos or the YouTube access at work. And when I started listening at home, the relaxation videos eventually gave way to results in the search that included whispering. And I enjoyed the vocal aspect of the sounds in the videos. That was what was relaxing to me. So I decided that I'd listen to the whispering, because that's just another example of vocalization, and whisper videos then became a really big thing. And to be honest, I really enjoy the speaking more than most of the ASMR videos. That's not to say that I don't enjoy page turning or fingernail tapping. I do enjoy all those things, but I like to, in many videos, a lot of times, I like those as accessories to the video, as secondary elements, which are unified by a speaker. So, anyway, to answer the question, I found out about ASMR YouTube videos once they started popping up in my feed for my whisper videos. Which really, and I could be wrong about this, but I don't feel like the ASMR videos have been going on that long. ASMR videos seem like they took off in the last year or two. So, I'd say year to 2 years, yeah. But, okay. Have you told anybody about your ASMR? No. For the same reason that I mentioned above about not knowing whether friends or family have it. I have never had reason to bring it up to anyone. I have probably 5 or 6 people from the Whisper community that I'm subscribed to on my Facebook, and I've never had anybody ask me who those people were or anything like that. If they were to ask, it wouldn't be an issue. I'd tell them I don't really honestly care if people find a habit of mine strange or not. My habits, and they're my business. But, no, it's never came up in conversation, as point blank as, do you listen to ASMR? So it's never been something that I've seen a reason to share. I suppose that maybe someday, if I'm in a classroom or meeting or some other setting and they're trying to do that let's get to know each other thing and ask for you to tell them some weird habit you have, I don't particularly find this to be weird, but I might mention it, since other people would find it that way, or would be likely to. Apparently people find it weird. As I said, I've never had the conversation about it, so never had to be told it was a weird deal. But, let's see. Do you listen to ASMR videos with headphones or without? I listen to ASMR videos most assuredly with headphones. Not just because the quality ends up being better in a lot of ways, because I have listened to one or two without the headphones, and those tend to be relaxing nonetheless. But I like a fully immersive experience when I'm trying to listen to my whisper vids, and also I don't like other people trying to inadvertently invade upon my experiences when I'm doing something. So for instance, I don't like when people have a TV on very loudly in another room and I'm trying to read. So since I don't like that, I try to be respectful and not do it to anyone else either, whether it be my family if I'm around them, or my roommate if he's around, or heck, even my cat. I try to keep in mind that other people may have no interest in what I'm doing, so I keep it low, and headphones help with that. Do you get stressed a lot? Not really. I mean, I guess I am stressed, but Honestly, I've never been one to consider stress to be something worth my attention. Paying attention to stress just feels like another way to stress yourself out. So I tend to just dismiss stress as something that you know, everybody experiences it at some point, and you just move on. One of my mottos, I have little mottos that I live by sometimes, but one of them is, what is. Basic gist is, things that are, they are the way they are, and either, you learn to live with them, or you learn to get around them, or you fix them. But in any event, what's going on is what's going on. If it's stressful, just accept it for what it is and keep going. So, do I get stressed a lot? I get stressed, but I don't really remark upon it. Do you listen to ASMR videos quietly or loudly? Usually, I have my whisper vids and ASMR vids about either halfway on the volume or turned all the way up. It kind of depends on how loud the original recording is. Like I said, I like my ASMR videos to be immersive, so when I get the opportunity, I tend to I you know I tend to listen to them as loudly as is possible to drown out any additional noise. So, have you downloaded any ASMR videos as MP3s? If so, what? I have contemplated using, I can't remember what the program is, but there's a program you can use to download content off of YouTube as music files, and I've contemplated doing that, but I never have. I did the one time that I did try to, though. It was with a whisper video. It was this one that Whisper Crystal did, where she was teaching like introductory Turkish, basically. And for a while, I was actually trying to learn Turkish. Merhaba. But to you, Merhaba, Mr. Crystal, if you're listening. But I've forgotten most of the Turkish I had learned, and I was having it was going to be such a long download when I tried downloading it originally, that I finally just was like, no, I'll wait until I have another time, and I've never gone back. But I might do that sometime, actually, because I would like to try and learn Turkish again. I'd learned a few things, and I think that when when I hear the words that I had become somewhat not fluent with, but at least used to, I'll probably remember at least some vague concept of their meanings. It's hard to learn another language, especially when you're older. But I'm not that old. I'm only 29, but I'm old enough that learning another language can be a feat, I guess. Anyway, what is your main trigger? My main triggers come in the forms of a couple of things, but it says my main one. I'll name the ones that tend to be big ones, and we kind of go from there. I like nail tapping, and that's probably going to be the minor out of the list. There's nail tapping. There's that sibilant S sound. The S. I love that sound that people do. There's actually somebody at work who she leads some of the classes, and I've had her a couple of times. We have little seminars and stuff where I work at sometimes to just update us on legislation changes and to make sure that we're aware of how to do always have the at the end, and it's like, wow, I want you to always be talking. Um, but yeah. So S sounds are the bomb, and I really like sounds that end up in my left ear. Um, like I can't remember what it's called. Gosh, it's the left right. It's oh gosh, y'all know what I'm talking about though. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, sometimes the headphones will have things where they end up in the left ear, and I find that to be really soothing. Um, I like breathing too, like when somebody accidentally breathes into a microphone. Um, like that sound, I don't want it to be like a continuous droning, I don't suppose, but when it happens every now and again, that really hits me hard. Um, let's see, what is a trigger that lots of other people have, but you just can't get? Crinkly paper. Um, crinkly paper sometimes works, but a lot of times it's, I don't know, the sounds are just too sharp, I think, and abrupt for me. But yeah, I mean, there are times where it can be really relaxing, but it's not the place where I get my most satisfaction from ASMR. Um, what is one thing you would like to see improving in the ASMR community? You know, there's another question that hits up on this sort of later on. Like, what is your least favorite thing about the ASMR community? So, I guess I'll answer both of those questions now. Um, Moreover, I don't really have much of a good answer at all. I mean, we're a generally supportive group as it is, and I feel like the group as a whole is pretty inviting to people and encouraging of inventiveness and creativity. Um, so don't really, I don't have anything specific. The only thing that I could say I would like more of would be engagement. And that's not really to be honest, that's not a critique of the community itself, because the community is very engaging. I just don't engage very much with the community myself. I kind of keep in my own little corner, and I don't know. I find it. How do I put this? The people who I come in contact with through their whisper videos and their ASMR videos are so awesome. And after watching those videos, I feel like I know them well enough to just, be friends with them. But I don't feel like I'm friends with them in a lot of ways, if that makes any sense. Because I guess there's a certain terrestrial aspect to friendship which is lost since it's just over the internet, and it's hard to gauge just how comfortable other people are with you, or how comfortable you can feel with them. So, um, I guess what I'm saying is my least favorite aspect of the web-based community is that it's a web-based community, and I don't get the pleasure of meeting people and knowing them in person and having an idea of just, how we interact as individuals. But it's not really a critique of the community. It's just one of those things. It's like, the dream would be to go to a convention and everybody be all friendly and everything, and get along real well. But so that answers two questions. Things that could improve, I guess. The ASMR holiday thing was so cool. Even though I didn't participate with it specifically this year, the idea of those interactive things. Whisper Crystal, and I can't remember who it was, but there was a thing they did at Christmas where people could they could basically provide copies of their singing a song, and they would put it together as a Christmas event and stuff. Anything that helps make us feel like we are the community we are is a good step in a positive direction, in my opinion. Um, so, next thing, who is your favorite whisperer? My favorite whisperer. Well, I'll tell you my 3 favorite whisperers, and then I'll tell you my favorite whisperer. My 3 favorite whisperers are probably Whisperish. I love Whisperish. Whisperish is so cute. I hope it's okay for me to say that, but she's cute, and I like what she chooses to do for a lot of her videos, and her voice is extremely relaxing. Savannah Whispers she's also cute, but she that's I sound like I'm sorry. But I like Savannah's voice a lot, and she has such pretty eyes, and I don't know, that actually hits up on something that comes as another question later on, things you didn't know about, like, until you got here that you like. But like Savannah Whisperish, and then my favorite of all is Whisper Crystal. I love Whisper Crystal. She's one person who I have managed to engage with a little bit more outside of the community, and she's just awesome. I love her videos. I love her accent, and she's just very inventive. She pours a lot of energy into her videos when she does them. I haven't heard a lot from her recently on here, but life gets busy, and you kind of have to put things aside sometimes. I hope she's doing well, though. So Whisper Crystal is my favorite. She's somebody who I definitely could see myself hanging out with in real life. That goes a long way. Let's see what's next. Do you have a favorite accent you like to listen to? I don't know. I've heard all kinds of accents on here. We have a pretty large community, and when you think about it, it's representative. I think it's the right word. I mean, I've heard everything from British to Greek to I think it was Chinese speakers and Latin speakers. I mean, just all kinds of different accents. Probably my favorite accents, though, would be more European based. Like I like British accents and Irish accents a lot. But more important than the accent a lot of times is I really like a feminine voice. I find female vocalization to be more appealing than a man's voice when I'm listening. So, let's see. The next one is, do you like Bob Ross? I had completely forgotten about Bob Ross until this question. Like when I was reading through the questions earlier, and I'm like, or listening to Big's Bumps video, I was like, Bob Ross? Who's Bob Ross? And so I looked at Bob Ross on YouTube. I'm like, oh, my mom would kill me. She's an art teacher, and I forgot who Bob Ross is. But I like Bob Ross because of Bob Ross being a painter, and I don't think that I really paid much attention to the sounds and stuff as a kid when I would watch the art programs that my mom would have taped and stuff. But now that I'm older and like listening to just 1 or 2 segments that I did before answering this, I was like, yeah, I can definitely see how that voice and those sounds really could hit the spot. So I like Bob Ross, yeah. is our least favorite thing about the... Oh, no, I already did that one. It's nothing about the community. Just be cool, be closer. If you could get rid of your ASMR forever, would you? No? What would be the point of that? um, I can't think of too many situations where having ASMR presents a particular problem, so I don't see any reason to get rid of it. I mean, I don't feel awkward having it. I don't feel that I would be, find it awkward to talk about it with other people. So I don't see much reason to get rid of it, especially since it is pleasurable. The the only reason I could really see for getting rid of it is there are times where it can be awkward to have ASMR hit you, and so maybe to be able to be what's the word, selective. If anything, if I could be more selective about ASMR, like not have those particular awkward moments where it hits you, that would be okay, I suppose. But I would never get rid of it. Not intentionally. I can't foresee a reason to. Do other noises give you other triggers? Zippers, coins, and cards. I like the sound of shuffled cards and cards being dealt. And I like the sound of coins. To some extent, they can be kind of sharp sometimes, and when they're sharp, I'm not so into them. But there's a certain sound that coins can make that's really pleasant. So I guess I should play a lot of poker. But not in zippers. I do like I already mentioned, I like the sound of zippers. But let's see. Do you get ASMR from any smells? No, not that I can think of specifically. I mean, there are smells that I find to be nice and pleasant and redolent and all that. So I guess if I don't really get tingles from those smells so much as that, how can I describe it? Because I can actually feel it just talking about it. It's not a tingle like I get from ASMR from sounds. It's a it's just this gentle feeling of wow, so attractive. In a olfactory way. But like with that, nice smells would include things like baking smells and fruit smells. I'm not much for natural smells. Like pine doesn't really do anything for me, or waterfalls, or any of those candles you might get at a candle factory type deal. But like fruit smells, like pineapple and orange and such, those things, I can get into them. And cookies. Oh, cupcakes. Ooh, cupcakes. I want to eat a cupcake now. Okay. Let's see, do you have any unusual triggers that wouldn't normally trigger ASMR? Cupcakes? No. I don't think so. I don't feel like I do at any rate. There's no particular sound that I've ever experienced that has caused me to go, ooh, tingly, and ooh, nobody else would find that tingly. Like even the sounds that I do get the tingles from are sounds that I guess I can't really understand how other people couldn't get tingles from them. Just because I can't experience life through another person's senses. So anyway, do you get ASMR from feeling anything? Tactily, not well. The only thing that I could think of is objects that are cool and smooth. And by cool, I mean like temperature-wise, not like Oh wow, gnarly radical. I'm a surfer dude. Cool. Um, but like smooth, cold surfaces or cool surfaces like a desk. I remember desktops at school. I used to really like running my hands over a desktop. Um, some fabrics, like sometimes raincoat fabrics, feel good. Um, but I don't know. That probably would be it. Would just be objects that are kind of cool, like glass or something. Cool and smooth. What is a trigger you didn't know you had until you discovered it on the YouTube community? Okay, so for this one, movement. Like, I never realized how much movement could accentuate the feelings that come from ASMR. Like, for instance, when I watch videos that have, like, that I can visually see finger tapping, or see a mouth moving, um, or even like see eyes and how people are blinking and such. It sounds so weird, I guess, but those things really do a lot to enhance the feeling of you know, that sensation. It amplifies it. So movement is an amplifier for me, and I guess because when when you're out and about in everyday life, I don't know about you, but one thing that I find really regrettable is you can people watch, but you can never people gawk. You can't just stare at people. So, like, if there's a sound, for instance, that somebody's making, um, unless you just find yourself inadvertently transfixed by the sound, uh, you know, I don't know about you, but I try not to make other people feel nervous and embarrassed or anything. So I don't just sit there and stare at people usually. Um, and because of that, you don't get the joy of in everyday life of seeing the movement along with the sound. So yeah, that's something that I learned from the YouTube community. So thank you, YouTube community. Um, does the ASMR effect of some videos wear off after watching them a few times? Yeah, definitely. But I found that with those videos, thankfully, if you go away from them for a month or so, or maybe a month or two, or at least wait until you're in the hankering for that particular sound that they give you a sensation for the first time, I generally, if I've stayed away from them for a while, can go back and enjoy them. So it's not so bad. Um, but I really like sounds that I think I said it earlier, like are in my left ear, especially like by itself. And when when I listen to those like a few times in a row, the sensation goes away. So I have to wait until a few months later to go back. Like now's a good time actually for me probably to go look up some left right ear headphone videos. I wish I could remember that freaking word. Um, so, um, what is the main reason you watch ASMR videos? Um, I have two reasons why I watch them. One is, I guess what first gets me interested in the ASMR videos is their good passive relaxation. You can listen to them while, idly performing other activities that don't require full attention. And they do feel good. And I don't necessarily need them to fall asleep like some people do. But some nights, they're nice to fall asleep to, no matter how tired you already are. So I listen to them because they have a relaxing quality that I can appreciate. Um, and then the other reason afterwards is I listen to them because I like the people. I enjoy hearing about people's thoughts and their lives and their experiences. Um, it's nice. It's a kind of it's a window into lives that I would never otherwise have had a window into. And because of that, I really appreciate it. And I appreciate those who take the time to share it, you know. I like role plays as much as I do the, kind of more vlog-based ones. But I like them for the same reason. They show an element of another person's personality and another individual. So my first attraction comes from the promise of relaxation. My enduring attraction comes from knowing that these are people who are awesome and I want to know them. I just wish that they can know me too, and I could feel comfortable on a more physical realm type level outside of the net. But anyway, what is your wait? Yeah, what is your least favorite kind of ASMR video? Crinkly paper. I already mentioned that. And I'll still give them a shot though. And it's not all crinkly paper. It's just there are some times where it just doesn't really sound good. But that's usually the one that I'm quickest to gravitate away from. Do you have any theories about why ASMR happens? I think there are Tommy knockers inside of my brain that are just sending out a little resonance in my cerebellum. No, I don't really think that. I don't have any particular explanation. I'm sure that there's some. I would assume that there's some physiological explanation for pre-programming in the brain of some sort. I can't see it as a survival mechanism necessarily, unless by survival mechanism it's something that, evolutionary speaking, was adapted into the psyche to help combat fear of, like the night or something. Something to help you relax in spite of circumstances. So I guess if I have a theory, it would be something along those lines. I don't think it's necessarily something metaphysical in nature, and I don't. I guess that saying about don't look a gift horse in the mouth. I kind of view it from that perspective. Whatever caused ASMR to be something that exists, I'm not really too preoccupied with that. It's a good feeling, so I'll accept it for what it is. It's a present. And the last one. What do you think is the future for ASMR? Well, if it's like everything else that seems to exist in the world, if it's becomes something big, then it'll probably be commercialized in some form or facet. But the good news is, unless they find a way to deafen everyone and you can only hear if you pay for it, ASMR is completely free and you will have plenty of opportunities over the course of your lifetime to accidentally enjoy that sensation. Plus, it's not like they're going to get rid of speech anytime soon, so there's always going to be the opportunity to hear it from somewhere. But I mean, the future for ASMR, I don't really know. If I'm sure that there's going to be some scientific studies out there that produce results that give more information about how it works at some point, and maybe those will have an effect on how people utilize it. And there may even be a more functional way, a utilitarian way to put it to use. Like, for instance, I said I used it at work to help calm myself down while I was working on things that didn't require me to, be, I don't know, well, I would use relaxation stuff because it would help me to focus more. So maybe at some point ASMR will be used as something that could be, help foster focus and concentration. But anyway, So yeah, that's all the questions, and I suppose I'll let y'all go now. I will try. I will try to get on here and do some myths sometime in the very near future. But I thank you for your time. I hope that this recording came out well and that my answers were of interest. So, you take care. Have a great day.